So leaders don't happen by accident. And if you've been in business long enough, you probably realize this by now. Leaders have to be developed. And there's certain things that you can do as their leader to properly equip them. So today we're going to talk about equipping the people that you love and lead on your team. And we're going to talk about 3 things in particular to equip your team to be successful and to develop them into leaders, because leadership development is totally intentional. So the first thing you can do is equip them with the tools. If you're taking notes, equip your people with the tools. I'm part of BNI, which is a great networking group. If you're not already part of it, you want to join BNI. It's Business Networker International. And why I love recommending all of our teammates to join BNI out of all the other network groups that are out there is because they equip you with the tools to succeed. You can literally just plug in and follow the system, and you'll be successful in marketing your business in that networking group versus wandering into another networking organization and they say, bring your business cards and go. And then you're like at the networking group and you don't know what's the proper etiquette, what's the best way to introduce yourself, how to give your 30-second commercial, how to give your 10-minute presentation, how to give the perfect elevator pitch, how to give referrals and find referrals for others, and how to ask for referrals properly for your own business. But what I love about what they do is they equip us. And in fact, this year, they said, Liz, will you be the president for your chapter this year? And I'm like, I don't have a time. But they said, don't worry. You're already at the meetings. All you need to do is just read the script at the meetings. And I'm like, well, I can do that if I'm already there and it doesn't really require any other time. And all I need to do is plug and play, right? I just need to use the tools that they're giving me. And then now my BNI group is putting on like a big visitor day where we're doing a visitor drive to get more people to join the group. And it's my first time in the president's seat while we're doing this. Of course, we do it every year, and I've always been a participant, but I've never been on the leadership end. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks complicated. But they're like, okay, it's week 8 before the countdown to week 1. And here's what you're going to say on week 8 to prepare your group. And here's what you're going to say on week 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom. And that's how you're going to have success. And I'm like, this is easy. Thank goodness for them equipping me with the tools. I look great. And people have complimented me. You're doing so great as a president. I'm like, I've got no idea what I'm doing. But they equipped me as a leader with the tools. You see what I'm saying? So what can you do to equip your team with the right tools? Well, first, in our marketing organization, we have marketing tools. So make sure that they have the right videos. In fact, I even give new associates the flip chart right away so they could be out there armed and dangerous, because you never know who is more of a natural born leader and a natural born presenter that can skip straight to doing flip chart presentations. So make sure that you're giving your new associates the tools to equip them properly. What other kinds of tools can you equip them with? Well, we've got communication tools. So we've got our Ellis Engage, where we read all of our messages from the company. We've got our Prospect app, which is our contact relationship manager tool to communicate with our prospects. And you want to equip them with the scripts as well, talking about the best communication tool you could give a developing leader is a script, just like BNI has given me scripts, right, to succeed. So I don't need to be out there flailing, trying to figure out what the best thing it is to say. I just need to read what the successful people have done to come before me in order to be successful. Now, the second thing you can do to equip your developing leaders is to equip them with mindset. Equip them with the right mindset. I have friends who are Jehovah's Witness, and also I have friends who were raised in the Mormon faith, and they've shared with me that when they prepare their youngsters to go out on mission and start knocking on doors or going out. Recently, I was on a hiking trail, and I was like, are those men in suits on a hiking trail? And it was wonderful. I'm like, hey, they were friendly, they were super nice, and I felt very safe. These two young gentlemen, I'm like, hey guys, I've never seen, guys dressed up in suits on a hiking trail. I love it. You're doing great. Keep on going, but not everybody is as nice to them like I am. And so when they're equipping their youth to go out and start ministering to the community, they prepare them and say, you're going to get rejected. You're going to have people slam the door in your face. You're going to have people say profane things to you. You're going to have people ask you these particular questions, objections that are going to come up. So they're being equipped. So when it comes, they don't feel like going home right away. They don't feel like giving up because they knew it was coming. They're like, oh, they said, I was going to experience one of you. And here you are. And you're doing it to me right now. Okay. So as long as they could see it coming, in our business, we call it inoculation, where we want to inoculate our leaders with what people might possibly say and give them the right language, or at least let them know it's coming in order to prepare them. Another thing you can do to equip your developing leaders with their mindset is to take them on a personal development pathway. Do you have a sequence of personal development books that you recommend to your new associates, or motivational audios to listen to? Derek, who's our new superstar on the team, who's here on the line here today, when he got started, he listened to the Robert Kiyosaki Rich Dad Poor Dad Cash Flow Quadrant, right? And then the next thing I recommend to him is the Jim Rohn Build Your Network Business. And then the next thing is Eric Worre Go Pro. And it's all on our team website, right on the home page of our team website under motivation. It's specifically 3 pieces of motivation for new associates that join the team. And so do you have a recommended path that you take your new associates on as far as giving them the personal development to keep them encouraged so they could go the journey? One thing I also do is make sure that I'm providing my advanced leaders with the most cutting edge and latest personal development that's out there, because you're either growing or you're dying. I even was at a stage in my personal growth and personal development where I'm like, oh, I've read it all. I've heard it all. I've got nothing new to learn. So I don't need to read that right now. But guess what? The second my thinking started to be stinking just like that, things started sinking. So you're either growing or you're dying. You're either ripening or you're rotting. There's no in between. So you want to make sure that you're providing with the new personal development. My latest that I love is a book by Pastor Craig Groeschel called Lead Like It Matters. Lead Like It Matters. I love it. It's great. And I've shared that with my leaders. I've shared the Craig Groeschel videos to share, this great, awesome new leadership development podcast that he has. Now, the third thing we want to do to equip our developing leaders is with the resources to succeed in your business. Equip your team with the resources. Let me give you an example. In our business, what do? We market and sell legal and identity theft protection. We bring on new agents, right? So the number one job that I have as a leader to my team is to help them find prospects to talk to on a daily basis. Would you agree? there's a million things that I could do as a leader, but I think the number one thing that I need to do to help my team succeed is to help them find prospects to talk to. I'm equipping them with the resource of the people. Now, most people, when they come to business, they normally know their mother, the brother, the best friend. They normally have then, that's their hot market. Then they have their warm market, which is their coworkers, their neighbors, their other friends, you know, their church buddies, their basketball buddies, their hiking club, whatever they're a part of, old high school friends, that kind of stuff. And then there's everybody else that's out there in the world. So once you're done with your mother, brother, best friend, and your cousin, neighbor, church member, and sharing that, where do you go from there? And a lot of the times the newcomers are developing leaders, people that may have gotten started and had success coming out of the gate. And then maybe 6 months in, they're like, well, I'm out of people. Who else can I share the information with? So we need to help them get their 2 exposures a day in and have a marketing plan. I'm always asking my associates that I'm talking to, what's your marketing plan for this week? Do you have enough people to talk to? And most of the time, if they're not already, if we already haven't had this conversation, the answer is no. They're like, well, I could talk to my friend John again for the 20th time. No, it's called 2 new exposures a day, not talk to the same 2 people every single day for the next 20 weeks. So you want to make sure that you have the discussion. Can they join a networking group? Right? We got Angela into a networking group. Do they need to start calling leads? We got Derek on some leads. Do we need to teach you how to do social media? I mean, Sonia's kicking butt on social media. And Katie Berkman has figured out TikTok like she has broken the code. So we need to teach people where the people are. And if you don't know that market, find someone who does know that market, find out when that person is teaching that training and plug your developing leader into that resource so they can learn how to successfully market in those channels. All right, because you always want to have a major, you want to have a minor. You may be good at one thing. I'm really good at networking and leads, business opportunity leads. You might have a strength in something else. And so when I had associates wanting to learn social media, I was like, go follow Dawn Brinkley. Go, she's teaching this Wednesday. Let's plug into this together and let's learn from her. And eventually I ended up learning it from Dawn because I was bringing people there that I started doing it too and having success there as well. So, but you don't need to be all for your team. I want to tell you that you don't need to be all, and they are not expecting you to be all for your team. I know you feel guilty sometimes, like, oh, I should have called that person. Oh my God, I dropped the ball on this. You can't be all to everybody, right? Or then the most people that you could develop is like 2 people if you want to try to be all to everybody, and your children and your spouse and your community. But what you can do is you can equip your people with the right tools, the right mindset, and the right resources so they can develop into a leader on their own, and then open the wings and fly even higher than you've ever gone. And that's the dream come true. The ultimate dream is to find 3 or 4 leaders that are stronger than you, so, that take it to the next level, higher than you. Then you're retired. That's the dream. That's the dream. So never feel threatened when you've got a great leader that comes on your team that's even more powerful and successful than you are. Remember what your end goal is here. And so if you ever want to retire, that's what you want. You want a team full of people who could do it better than you, right? So I'm excited for all of you. Let's go to discussion.